Well, another week has come and gone, and we still have no budget from lawmakers, no campaign announcement from Andrew Cuomo, and no clear frontrunner in the Republican field for governor. Instead, we have seen more than our fair share of tension in Albany and heard rumblings about a fourth Republican considering a run for governor. Here to discuss it all are the reporters who make a living covering the craziness at the Capitol and also on the campaign trail. Brendan Scott is a political reporter for the New York Post. Glenn Blaine is a political reporter for the New York Daily News. And making her Capitol debut tonight is Susan Arbiter. She's the host of the radio show Capitol Press Room. Thank you all for being here tonight. I'm so pleased.
Great to see you.
And it's great to have you here. It really is.
Great to be here, Liz.
Oh, good. Okay, so now that we've all dispensed with the pleasant... Oh, thanks, guys. Yeah. Anyway, so let's start with Andrew Cuomo because that's pretty much what everyone's waiting for. Will he announce? He'll just go to the convention and not announce.
Well, I think he will announce. It's just a question of what day, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, take your pick. Convention starts Tuesday night. I think the good money's he'll do it sometime before the convention starts. When exactly, who knows? Well, somebody knows, but we don't know.
Well, yeah, none of us know. I mean, the interesting thing is that he has been leaking, sort of slowly leaking all of this policy stuff, and it's a little unorthodox. I mean, it's not something I've seen before.
I mean, I've been calling it leak week. It's Andrew Cuomo's kind of big build-up. It's very similar to the way that a governor, an acting governor or a president would handle the State of the Union or State of the State address. You kind of put out these different proposals to get a little exposure, get some emphasis put on them piece by piece. You know, he's spread it around to all the various media outlets so nobody's screaming too loudly. And he's kind of helped quiet in advance of an announcement some kind of, you know, the drumbeat that has been against him. The big criticism is why won't he say anything about all these important issues if he is interested in being governor?
Well, it's going to be on the record, right? I mean, it'll be part of the historical fact sheet. One of the issues that he hasn't leaked this week, unless I missed it, was about his views on gas drilling. I hear, well, it's a big deal. It's a big deal for upstate. Okay. Yep. And actually, he has written a policy paper that you have to foil, according to the Shenango County Farm Bureau. So,
okay,
I will be doing that.
Yes, I think a lot of people will. The other interesting thing that he did leak, actually, it's in the Wall Street Journal this morning, is this idea that he will make people sign a pledge that they are going to support his agenda.
That was in the Daily News this morning.
And in the Daily News, and then subsequently keep basically hold them, like punish them if they don't go along with him.
With Prococo?
No, I don't know. I don't know what the punishment will be, but it's so unorthodox. First of all, he's not, as you noticed, he has not yet announced. And then he says, if you're either with me or against me.
I'm not so sure this is something that's intentionally coming out of the Cuomo campaign. I don't think we're, maybe the pledge in terms of the commitment to his issues, but I don't think he's actively pursuing creating an image similar to Eliot Spitzer, which is what that Wall Street Journal story today suggested, that he's going to be another steamroller. I think that he's interested, as I think Assemblyman Joe Morelli, an ally of Cuomo, is quoted in there saying that he's interested in portraying an image that he's going to be tough, but not unreasonably so. That if someone's on the opposition, he may try to bring them close, he may try to work against them. It's going to depend on the circumstances.
What's he doing with DiNapoli, though? It seems like there he's picking a fight that he doesn't have to pick.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the interesting thing is that he's trying to micromanage the ticket altogether, and that is an unusual thing because you're trying to pick people who are going to be not only running with you, of course, but overseeing you in the end. Your attorney general or your controller, or it's just, I mean, you've been in, how many years, Glenn? How many years have you been covering politics now?
Almost 20.
Okay. Have you ever seen that before?
Not to this degree. And for the Cuomo's, the argument is all about ticket balance. He's looking for, you know, a suburban woman. He's looking for other areas that kind of make the ticket everything to all people. And as we read, he's actively pushing for Kathleen Rice to be his attorney general.
Well, it was the same thing as Spitzer pushing to choose his own comptroller,
yeah, but after the fact, right? After the fact, because Alan Hevesy had been elected, and then after that had to step down.
But the whole point of the process being set up the way it was to give the legislature authority so that the person who was watching the governor conceivably wasn't picked by the governor.
Correct.
And he inserted himself in that process.
Yep.
And another thing that could be fueling this is the fact that that there's such a vacuum in the state's political process that one guy who's got good poll numbers is able to kind of swing his weight around and influence all these different areas, and people will let him. Yeah.
Yeah, and meanwhile, all the focus is on one guy on the Democratic side, while on the Republican side.
Yeah, it's such a shame. It's this Lavizino. I'm sorry. What do you call it?
Lavizino.
Lavizino.
What about Mermel?
Well, Mermel, obviously. We have to talk about. Do you want to talk about Myers-Mermel?
You go ahead and talk about Myers-Mermel.
Well, actually, I was going to talk about the fact that in January of last year, or this past year, that you could say that the GOP had 3 possibilities. They could an open AG seat. They had the controller, and they had junior senator. But they are so sort of like. Cuomo is their kryptonite. You know, once they start thinking about Cuomo, they can't stop thinking about him. And so it's all about running for governor.
Right,
when they
that's
don't
true.
have a shot.
That's true. Well, they have less than a shot. I mean, it will probably be, the general feeling, and I think, is that Steve Levy is probably more of a problem for Cuomo than Rick Lazio and Carl Palladino and now Myers-Mermel. Right, right. But
Steve Levy's got more money, certainly.
well, he has more money, correct.
More money, at least, than Lazio does.
But he's also fiery. He's fierier, right? So, but that's why we were pushing him or Cox was pushing him. But now you have this 4th guy. It's Myers-Mermel. It's just so fun to say. I'm sorry, I admit it. It's fun to say.
I mean, the interesting thing is why is he coming up? What advantage do they see in bringing him to the convention and encouraging him to come to the convention, as it seems Republican Chairman Ed Cox has been doing? Is it to give people cover that may want to not vote for Lazio, but not look like they're voting for Palladino or Levy because of the political repercussions there? I mean, it's just baffling a lot of people. Why are we bringing another name into this? Another unknown character to split the vote, essentially.
Could they each get 25% of the weighted vote, and then they're all on?
Well, but the problem is that all of them, with the exception of Steve Levy, is the only Democrat in the mix who needs to get 50%, but they might change the rules. It is true, though, that they started out so hopeful, with so much promise, and now...
Well, at the beginning of the year, you heard talk, maybe Giuliani will run for governor,
that's right.
and that's the big race.
Can run for Senate.
Right.
And
but they have no marquee names, right?
And they have no bench
to
fill in those gaps.
In every jurisdiction, in every state in this country, there's a sense that the Republicans are at least better off than they were 2 years ago. I don't know if the Republicans in the state can say that this year around. It's if anything, by the end of this convention, there's going to be so many bruised egos, and they're going to be created such a problem. Assuming Lazio is the nominee, how is he going to raise any money? He's been tainted as a failure by his own party chairman.
And he's
lost 6 months.
And he picked an LG candidate. He picked Greg Edwards from Chautauqua County. What did you think of him?
Well, he's bland, which is probably good. I would assume, after the more spicy candidates that we've seen in the recent past. But Myers-Mermel no longer running for LG.
Well, we don't know.
We don't know. He's not quite in the...
He has not confirmed, right? It's Ed Cox says he's running. What did you think of Edwards?
Edwards, I don't know. He came to the Capitol today. It was my first meeting with him in Albany. It seems like a nice enough guy. The fact that he's got a county executive background could appeal, especially in the property tax department. But I don't know if bland is good. I mean, people want bland. They want,
Think of the years